Eden Hazard is not the same player he used to be back in the day. Back in the day may be a bit of a stretch since it had just been a few years, but for those of us that watch Hazard in his prime, know how much things have changed for the Belgian superstar. At one point, Hazard was up there, and I really mean up there with the very best in the world. Hazard was being compared to Neymar, Ronaldo, Messi, and all of the other guys that were killing it in the mid-2010s. Welcome to the JVM Football channel, where you can find game analysis, football history, individual performances, top 10s, etc. If you are interested and would like more football content like this, please subscribe to the channel. Today I'll be going over the amazing season that Eden Hazard had in 2017. An iconic season for the Belgian international, as he was a key piece to the puzzle that helped Chelsea to redeem themselves after the appalling 2015-2016 campaign. Before we begin to discuss what happened in this amazing season for Hazard and what his numbers were like and the type of impact he had on the team, I just want to go over two topics. One, why did I choose this specific season of Hazard's? And two, the amazing turnaround and return of form that Chelsea had this season. Okay, so why did I choose this season of the plethora of amazing seasons that Eden Hazard had in his career so far? The 2016-2017 season marked the return of form of Eden Hazard, and therefore I would make it justice by being one of the first seasons that I talked about the Belgian in this Time Machine series. Honorable mentions go of course to his 2014-2015 efforts, his 2017-2018 season, and the 2018-2019 season. But this one right here, Hazard was one of the worst players for Chelsea the previous season, and no one really understood why. He just stopped playing well. It kind of resembled what happened in Space Jam with the NBA players losing their powers. It just felt like Hazard forgot how to play football. In the 2017 season, he showed everyone that he was still one of the very best players in the world. Now, addressing number two, Chelsea won the league in 2017, and what I just described about Hazard also happened to Chelsea. It's quite funny actually how the timeline plays out. Chelsea performed bad and so does Hazard, and then Chelsea performed good and so does Hazard. I'll make a more thorough analysis as to what actually happened this season to Chelsea because it was truly fascinating. It probably will never happen again. At one point in the 2015-2016 season, Chelsea were below the top 10, and then, just a year later, they won the league in impressive fashion. Okay, so let's go to this season, shall we? As I have just previously touched upon, Chelsea was down bad coming into this season, and so was Hazard. I hope that my brief explanation helped to paint the atmosphere that was around the club at the time. They were under a lot of pressure. They even went and got Antonio Conte to help revive the club. Conte came into this Chelsea squad, and at first he was reluctant to implement his own brand of football. He wanted to satisfy the players and the fans, but it wasn't working. But then Conte tried his 3-4-3 against Arsenal, and the rest is history. A lot of people attribute the team's success that Chelsea had this season to the change of formation in this game. To beat one of the biggest rivals in such a manner using his preferred tactics probably spiked Conte with confidence. Hazard benefited especially from this tactic as he was in a forward position with less defensive duties. He was also free to drift inside and outside, and it worked wonders. This season, in 36 games played in the Premier League, Hazard scored 16 times and assisted another 5 as Chelsea won the league in one of the most impressive displays of dominance and tactical brilliance we have seen in recent years. Hazard humiliated defenders left, right and centre and made everyone who dared challenge him on a one-on-one thoroughly regret the decision. In this 3-4-3, Hazard linked very well with Willian, Pedro and Diego Costa and terrorised defences around the league. He was potent, explosive, clinical, creative, and the agglomeration of all these traits and skills come all together in what can only be described as a piece of art in Hazard's goal against Arsenal, where he pretty much took on the entire team. Hazard was averaging 4 successful dribbles per game on a 77% conversion rate. That's just stupid. Also, 3.2 chips passes per game and 2.1 shots per game. He didn't win Player of the Season because his teammate Kante was even more impressive, an individual who I have yet to make a video about when I think about it. Anyways, Hazard may as well have won the Player of the Season seeing how dominant he was. Thank you very much for watching the video until the end. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more game analysis, football history, individual performances, top 10s, etc. This is the beginning of something special, and it would mean the world to me if you subscribed and help me to grow this channel.